right. So we're going to be talking about nostalgia because right now I see in the MK community, I mean, seriously, man, I need to get on drugs or something. Like, you know, I'm the way that MK community people talk and stuff. Like, it's like, what's wrong with these people? Like, honestly, like, I know they're a lot younger than me, but my God. Oh, this is fire. This is drip. You know, what the hell's wrong with people? Anyway, right. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since the first game. I've played in real life tournaments. I've played online. So when I talk about this stuff, I actually do know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I'm the best. Okay? What I'm saying is that I have a lot of experience when it comes to this stuff. And Mortal Kombat is my favorite game. If anyone out there tells you, oh, well, just don't play it then, when you're critical of the game, it's not you that has the problem. It's them. Anyone that tells you that sort of stuff doesn't want critical things being said about a game that actually could help or improve it for a majority of people. They only want the game catered to them, and if you criticize it, despite the fact that they have never invested in the creation of that said game, outside of buying them, right? They had no actual, like, what I mean by that, in terms of actually sitting there coding the game and creating it like that, right? All you've done is throw money at them. People like that really annoy me. Like, really annoy me. What right do you think you have? You probably started Mortal Kombat in MK10, right? You're like 3 games deep. I've been playing since the first. A lot of us older guys have been playing since the first game. And even some people that started in the 3D era are getting into that sort of like, what would they consider MK Boomer category, if you will. Or what I like to call the Gen X category, right? The X category for MK games, okay? Now, the problem with Mortal Kombat in recent iterations of the game, and Ed Boon confirms it in his interview. Oh, we need to make sure that we switch it up every time so people don't get bored. Dude, people don't get bored playing other fighting games. They keep the baseline, and they might just add a little new function like the drive gauge in Street Fighter 6, right? They don't change like this massive thing. You've literally changed the entire game into a 1/assist title. You cannot play the game without choosing an assist character or a cameo character at all. It's built throughout the entire game, right? So you've killed 1v1. People that have been waiting for another 1v1 game can't have it. And people go, oh, but you don't have to use the 1v1 character, use the cameo character. Sure. How are you going to break combos, bro? Right? How are you going to break combos? You literally are taking away 3 or 4 moves from your moveset because of it. Okay? So don't give me that rubbish. Okay? It's a significant addition to the game to make it that if you don't use it, you're going to feel a massive subtraction. Alright? The problem with these modern Mortal Kombat games, and it did start in MK9, which I do love, is that it is a massive, massive, massive focus on combinations. The only reason why people get excited about combos is because they know that if they find the most broken character with the most broken combo and they get online, they're going to sweep the floor with everyone who hasn't adjusted or new people that start the game. Now, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, man, because right now, after 4 years of starvation, people are going, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since MK9. Yeah, the same people that are saying that said the same thing about MK11. Right? Now, I love MK, right? And being critical of it makes me a better fan than someone blindly sitting there and just accepting anything that they put on the plate, right? I think 90% of this game is going to be great, but the engine is still the same. All they've done with the fighting engine, right, is unlock the ability to have aerial combos, and then adding in another character to then to essentially extend the combos, if you will, because Ed Boon has been on record saying that. Oh, they'll extend the combos. That's what they'll do, right? They'll extend the combos. Of course they will, right? Because then your combo, right, even if it's hitting the ceiling, will then get reset because then the cameo character comes in and affects it and kind of like does like a soft reboot, and then you're able to do it again. The latest MK games, even all the way back from MK9, right, have only been rewarding high combo, yield. They don't care about people that play any other play style except for that. At all. They just don't care. Okay? And that's a problem when every other fighting game out there actually balances their games around people that are aggressive or defensive. Now, I used to teach martial arts. We don't just teach how to fight in terms of aggressive style. The first thing that we teach in fighting is defense. Because the reason why martial arts exists is because generally there's going to be someone that is going to attack you. You don't just block once, like using 3 bars on the combo breaker in MK1 and go, oh, I used up all my blocks, bro, sorry. No, right? You've got to be able to know how to defend, okay? So that's a good thing to do. Yes, your block is there. They've got the up block in there, so that could change things a little bit depending on how good or useless it ends up being. But combo breakers, people lost their minds. Oh, 1 bar, are you serious? That means I can't keep doing my massive giant combos. Good. Breaking the psyche of an aggressive player playing online is so much fun, right? Because then it forces them to switch things up. That's great. That's what you want. You want to be able to have both ways. That's awesome, right? You can still have the cameo fighter locked out, right? So you do a combo breaker, but it locks the cameo fighter out, but it only takes 1 bar, right? There's a compromise for you. But this is the problem. So people go, oh, this is just like MK9.2. Nah, dude, it's MK11.2. It's just that they've done a really... And look, I love the style. They've made the women attractive again, right? The costumes, like the outfits have been scaled back to being a lot more reasonable than what they were in MK11. The backgrounds look gorgeous. Everyone is saying how wonderful the backgrounds are. That's probably going to be like the main feature at the moment, right? We don't know how the story's going to play out apart from Liu Kang resetting the universe and basically messing it up, you know. Some theories are that Raiden will eventually take over again because Liu Kang is just incompetent. I don't think Liu Kang should have ever met a god. I think he should be Mortal Kombat champion, but not a god. So it's, you know, this is the problem with, like, you know, game starvation, nostalgia, is that people become unreasonable, like I said. Oh, well, don't play it. Don't buy it. We don't need your negativity. This is the problem with gamers in general, right? Some of us can see through the bullshit. We can see what's going to happen. It doesn't mean to say that we're not going to buy it. Doesn't mean to say we're not going to enjoy it. But if you literally can only, like, the only way that you can buy a game is if you love every single facet of it, there's something wrong with you. What happens when you buy the game, like people did with MK11, and after a few months or so, they start to see the cracks and the issues and the problems in the game? What? Oh, should you refund it then? Should you take the game back to the shop, you know, or refund it online because, well, hang on a sec, you said the game was perfect. You said it was awesome. There was nothing wrong and that you shouldn't say anything negative. Oh, but after a while, it's fine. Some of us don't need to get our hands on the game, bro, to understand that we can see some of the same issues. We have now seen in-game action. Everything. Combos, gameplay, specials done, jumping, extra, like the fatal blows, fatalities. We've seen it all, right? Fatalities and fatal blows seem to be scaled back. Good. Excellent. Less time, right? But we can see the combat. It's the same janky stuff that was in MK11, okay? Started coming in MK10 and 9, okay? All they've done in the combat system is unlock aerial combat. That's all they've done. They've removed some stuff, like the crushing blows, which was useless, right? So, you know, it's a little bit more fair in that regard. But ultimately, nostalgia is winning the day right now because people have been starved of an MK game. And some of us, while we, like, I was looking forward to seeing it, I hate the name. It's a ridiculous name. I'm sorry, it just is. I don't care what the justification is. Oh, he's resetting everything, so it really is back to square one. Why don't you call it Mortal Kombat 0? Why don't you call it Mortal Kombat Genesis? New era, a new beginning, something, Shazam. Like, call it something else other than MK1. Because when you say MK1, people think of OG MK1. Now we're gonna have to do the same Xbox crap again. Oh, not the, we mean the original Xbox. Oh, the original Mortal Kombat. No, you see what I mean? Like, it's unnecessary ridiculousness, right? Unnecessary, okay? So, this is what's going to happen. After a while, the nostalgia will wear off. Okay, the honeymoon phase. Okay, and these aggressive people, even some of these big YouTubers, I've seen their reactions on Twitter, and it's pretty disgusting, right? Calling people stupid and stuff. You know what? Because they can see through the crap, because they can see what they already went through when they thought that MK11 wasn't going to have these issues, and then they got into it and they're like, hang on a sec, these are problems, and we're just seeing the same stuff, right? The only thing that these young people care about is combos, right? That's all they care about, because it's a generation of people that only care about one thing: winning. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about the quality of the game. They don't care about that. All they care about is winning, so they get online and go, look how amazing I am. Look how awesome I am. Look how many wins I got, right? This is why I don't research into broken characters or big combos. I read the move list, and then I just play the game naturally. Stick it on very hard if you're playing single player. That'll teach you how to defend yourself real fast, right? You can easily beat people that play the game in a broken manner, because usually people like that don't know any other way to fight. They don't have any experience in scrapping. They don't have any know-how in what to do when the tools that they've only learnt in their limited arsenal are taken away from them, right? And we see this right now, like this nostalgia is just like, you are out of your minds, okay? Nobody is saying you can't enjoy the game. Nobody's saying that the game is going to be 100% garbage. It's already a massive, massive improvement over MK11. But there are still some glaring issues, and I don't care what anyone says, the cameo system will either make or break this game. Because people that are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for their favorite end up on the backbench. That's going to be it for them. They're going to be like, man, this is just rubbish. What, so he appears for like a couple of seconds, does his special move and pisses off again? Big deal. Like, who cares, right? There's a lot of people out there that don't care about doing massive combos. So the rest of the game also has to appeal to them. And if the game is primarily built around, in the combat world, with these massive combos, then it's going to annoy people. Tekken was built that way from the ground up. Soul Calibur was built that way from the ground up. Mortal Kombat wasn't, right? And neither was Street Fighter. Now, there are some experts in both of those, especially original games, that can do a lot of damage and a lot of combos, but they're the exception to the rule. They are trying to turn, with these MK games, they're trying to turn everyone into this massive combo master. But that's the problem, isn't it? You only teach one side of a fight. You've got to teach both. And if you don't allow tools for both, right, then people are going to get online and they're going to come up against someone who was already ahead of the curve in terms of like, Kenshi's really broken right now. I've watched the Sonic Fox video that does like 80%, you know, and they've been sitting there practicing, you know, this person they fight has been sitting there practicing, right? And they get online and they just go brrr and do it, right? That person ain't coming back to fight. They're not coming back to fight. And the only way you can fix that is allowing people of different skill levels to go into different tiers. So that way they can get used to other newbies and then slowly move up. Like they do in Street Fighter 6. It's actually a really good system, right? And other games like Tekken 7, it, you know, puts you in ranks against, like, you know, you can choose, right, other ranks, but if you only want to go against, like, say, beginner people, you know, of that low level, it will only put you in that low level. But I guarantee you, once the nostalgia wears off and the glitz and the glam, right, and the attitudes, the disgusting attitudes I see of people who think that somehow that, well, you know, you can't enjoy the game. You shouldn't buy the game because you're saying something I don't like to hear. Well, nobody asked you to click on this video, did they? I mean, who's really at fault here? You clicking on the video or me saying this piece? It's just the facts, Jack, right? So, being critical of stuff, and I saw this comment on Twitter actually, somebody said, you know, the shutdown of people actually having proper criticism of MK games is the reason why we're in the mess that we are. Because all NetherRealm do is they listen to the streamers and they listen to the esports crowd and go, oh, you know, we need to do this because that's what brings the people in. They don't account for any other aspect outside of that when it comes to especially like the gameplay. And at the end of the day, the graphics don't matter, the story doesn't matter. The one thing that's going to be left after you strip all of that away is the combat. It's in the name, right? If the combat fails, or, you know, is going to be so egregious towards one style of player, it's going to cause problems. You can bookmark this video, because I guarantee you there are going to be people that hate on it, and then in 6 months time, right, 3 months after the game comes out, and they're getting online and they're getting your ass whooped against someone using the same character because everyone else is using the same broken character because it's the one that they haven't patched out yet. Well, you know where the channel is. Anyway, guys, catch you next time.